Hey everyone, back for another little quick tutorial today. This is one that I got a request on from a good friend of mine from the Richmond Automotive Society. They hold a real nice show down in Richmond, Virginia, usually February of each year. And this gentleman I'm speaking of is a member of that club and has become a pretty good friend over the years. So this video is something he had asked about on one of the techniques that I use on my headlight lenses in my cars. So not only am I going to do it for him, I'm also going to put it on my YouTube tutorials. So if anybody else wants to know how I accomplish getting my headlight lenses to fit and to look as good as I can make them look, this is how I do it. Here in front of you, I have my Ferrari 458 body that has been painted with House of Color blue and had a little bit of pearl added to it. It's got some dust on it right now. It's been sitting up in the cabinet for about a month now, so it's got a little bit of dust on it, but that'll all go away when I get it back out to finish it up. But I have the front and back glass in it. The quarter windows are in it. I have the black trim done around the windows and on the body itself. And this model will actually have LED headlight and tail lights in it. So I do have the wires hanging here for the headlights and tail lights. And I actually have one tail light installed and one headlight installed. And to give you an idea of what I did with the headlights, there's the LED. That is in the projector beam location on a Ferrari. And if I can get this to zoom in here, let's see if we can get the camera to cooperate with us today. There we go. You'll see above that light, you will actually see little steps. Now on the 458 Ferraris, they have a series of little LEDs that go up through there. And I'm not going to simulate all of them on this model, but I am using fiber optics in each one of the little steps as you go down through there. I think it'll be a nice little neat touch to the model. So it's something new I'm going to try with the fiber optics. I've done LEDs before, but fiber optics is a whole different animal for me. So, but we'll see how it comes out in when I get up to that point. But anyway, on to the tutorial. Chaz, when I put in the headlight buckets themselves, as you know, most of these cars are going to be sealed up, so you're not going to be able to see how the headlight bucket itself is installed or how it's glued in. So I do not take any chances, especially when I'm putting LEDs or anything in, with that coming loose. Now, I'll hold it up here, and let's see if I can get it to... Yeah, it looks pretty good there. That is the... get the right side right here. This is the headlight bucket that's in there with the LED in it. Now, I put that in, and once I'm happy with the fit of it, with the body upside down, just like this, I will get that in and get the fit where I want it and how I want it, and then I use the micro crystal clear, and I will go in and I will actually put that all the way around the edges, and actually I put a real heavy bead all the way around. That way I know that if one of these wires or something gets tugged, it stays put, and you can't see any of that once the model's assembled. So you don't have to be real clean with it. If you get too much in there, so be it. It's on the inside of the model. You can't see it anyway. So I go ahead and use the crystal clear for that. I do not use regular model cements, nor do I use super glue for that. It takes a little longer to dry with this, but I've always had good luck with it. And if any of it happened to seep out around the side on the outside of the body, no big deal. You can just take a Q-tip and you can wipe it off real quick, and no big issues. So, once you've got your headlight bucket into place and it fits and you've got it glued in there and everything's dry on it, usually, I would recommend the following day to start this next procedure. So what we have is, this is the actual clear headlight lens. This I did a little bit of shaving to get the fit down in here. It's a very small area that this needs to go into as far as a mounting point. So, you know, I've worked on this lens, probably spent about, I would say 10 to 20 minutes on this lens, most likely getting it to fit the way that I want it to fit. And I've got the lens sitting in there now. I'll hold it up here so you can see it. There's with the lens into place. Let's see if the camera will cooperate here today. This is the third camera I've got, and I'm having the same issues with every one of them, not focusing in on my parts. There we go. That's how well the lens fits, just laying into place. That's the first part of this procedure. It is flush with the nose piece. It's flush with the hood. Everything is in there, and like I say, nice and flush. And I haven't done it to this one yet, but I take my lens after I've got all my sanding and all my fitting and finish done on it. I'll take my lens and carefully dip it into either some acrylic clear or into Future floor wax. And I've got some Future here in a bottle that I just marked Future. And a lot of times I'll take my needle nose tweezers and just unscrew this lid on this here. And I'll take the part and hold it with the tweezers, actually dip it down in it. Another way you can do it is pour this into another container, like a small cup or something, like a medicine cup, and dip your part into that. And if you don't get any contaminants or anything in the Future, you can actually put it back in this bottle and you won't have any problems with it. So, you know, dipping it in the Future will give you a lot more clarity to the glass. It makes it look like glass instead of plastic. So, you know, definitely take that into consideration when you're doing your headlight lenses. It's a little added step, and usually when I do that, I'll let it set for, you know, 2 or 3 hours before I'll mess with it. And, you know, usually everything's good to go at that point. Now, the next step that we're going to do on this is the actual mounting of the headlight lens itself. And I think this is where the main question come up by Chaz. So we're going to use the crystal clear. And we just open it up, set it over here. And to make it easier for a lot of people, what I would recommend doing is taking the crystal clear. And for a lot of you guys that's never worked with this product before, it's actually Elmer's glue pretty much. It just has Microscale's name on it. I mean, it's pretty much just regular Elmer's glue. I like it because it's a small bottle. It doesn't take up a lot of room on the shelf. But you can also use Elmer's school glue. It is pretty much the same thing. It reacts the same way, does the same thing. The only thing I have noticed is it seems like the crystal clear dries a little bit clearer than the Elmer's glue does. Maybe just me, but that's what I've found. So I stick with the crystal clear for anything that's exposed, like this lens that I'm doing here. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get just a regular toothpick. Just a regular wooden toothpick. And I'll try to do this so it's kind of turned towards you a little bit. We're going to be doing the lens on this side right here. And because this body's not done and I don't have the fiber optics in yet, I'm going to do this procedure and then I'm going to show you how to finish it off. But at that point, I'm going to go ahead and pull the lens back out of the model because I'm not ready to put this in yet. So basically all I do with this is I don't put any glue down on the headlight bucket itself and then set the lens into it. I do not do that. I get a little bit on the end of the toothpick here and I will start, and I'm not going to glue this whole thing in because like I say, I got to take this back out anyway, but I will start and do the entire perimeter of the lens. Now, as you put this in, it is going to move around a little bit. That's okay. And yes, it just shot out of place there on me. Let's get it back in there. So, you know, if you can, one thing that I found that does help is if you've got a spot that you can actually hold the lens with your finger, do that. And then all you want to do is take your crystal clear and just bridge the gap between the headlight lens and your paintwork. Get that gap bridged in there real well. Get a bead on it and don't worry about making a mess with it. It's not going to affect you. And once you've went all the way around the entire lens on your model, and I'll hold it up here and show you what we got. Let me get the camera to focus here. Come on, there we go. You can see the crystal clear there on the lens. That's what you want it to look like. Try to get that around there fairly quickly, you know, but also take your time and you know, get it right, but try to get it on there as quick as you can. And then the next step that I do is take a damp Q-tip, and like I say, I'm going to hold this, and this is right after you put this on. You want to come in with your Q-tip, and pretty much I just take the Q-tip and come along the surface and just roll the Q-tip, and that takes a lot of it off. And I'll usually roll it out on my towel. And then just the same procedure. You'll see a little bit on the side of the bodywork itself. Just come in with your Q-tip that's slightly dampened, and just wipe that. And then once you get it wiped down, just come in with the dry side of the Q-tip. And the one thing that I do recommend on this is to be careful with the dry side, because you can get some fuzz that'll stay in your glue, so make sure you don't do that. But you just want to come in and, you know, work all of your glue off of your bodywork and off of the top of the lens. Now what's going to happen is, as you do that, it's going to push the crystal clear down into the groove between your lens and the body, and that's what's actually going to glue this into place. And when all this dries, it'll be crystal clear. It'll look like the lens is actually part of the body. And for me, it just comes out real well. A lot of people have commented on, you know, how well my lenses look. And this is the procedure that I use on them. It works very well. It takes a little bit of practice, but, you know, overall, it's a very clean way to do it. And like I say, I'm not going to leave that put in there. I'm going to take it back out because I'm not to the point where I'm ready to put this in for good. So, but that'll give you an idea how to do it. And then once you've wiped that down with the Q-tip, just let that dry. You know, you can go over and do the other side, but just be very careful with the side you've already done, because it's going to be fragile until that sets up. So hopefully that gives you an idea, especially Chaz. That'll give you an idea on how I do this. If you have any questions or whatever, or you need any more further assistance with it, just, you know, shoot me an email, and I'll be more than glad to do another video or you know, answer your questions. And that also goes for anybody that's watching the video on how to do this. But like I say, it does work well. It gives you a very realistic finish, and the crystal clear dries exactly what it's called, crystal clear. And it's a very nice product, and it works well. And I'm going to leave you with that today. And I've got a few more videos coming up here in the very near future, so stay tuned for them. So as of today, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you later.